I don't know how to say this in any of a nicer, more direct way, but most of you who are Forex traders endlessly frustrate me. And the reason is because I see so many people doing so many things that do not matter at the cost of things that really do matter. I see people using endlessly complicated trading approaches that do not get people profitable, let alone give them any sort of predictability or consistency or sustainability in their decision making. It is endlessly frustrating because literally, if you just kept things simple, you wouldn't have to go through that. I see so many people not controlling risk. They're using whatever the hell lot size they think they should use. They're not defining the risk per trade. They're risking their whole freaking account per trade. If they're a small account, they blow account after account after account. And it doesn't have to be that way. And so it frustrates me to look online here and see so many idiots trying to approach trading in a way that is guaranteed to fail. 95 to 98% of people will not make any money trading, let alone Forex trading. Trading is hard. It's risky. Most people lose money. In this video, I'm going to show you how I personally trade because I keep things simple and I structure risk in a way that allows me to never lose more money than I'm comfortable losing on a trade. And I post this on my Instagram account. I don't recommend you follow my Instagram account because it'll probably just piss you off, honestly, just to see how simple things are and everything I'm doing and how you're still losing. I don't want to frustrate the hell out of you because you've already probably frustrated the hell out of me. But I post every single thing on my story here. This is a trade I took yesterday. It was the first trade last week that I took. And here on my Instagram, Nick Sean Trades, this trade I took a sell right here. So this is what the entry looked like whenever I entered it. I usually post a lot of my trades like, kind of right after I enter them or close to it. And with this right here, the analysis was incredibly simple. I'm going to show you exactly what the analysis was. But this ended up going into profit. It went to $10,000 profit, and then it hit the profit target overnight for $35,000 profit. And this trade was so simple. I'm going to show you literally every single thing I did. I went here to the daily chart on Euro USD, and price was at a resistance zone, and so I sold. That is it. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if you think that's pretty simple. That's pretty damn simple to me. Going to a daily chart, drawing obvious, clear support resistance zones that are very, 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 very obvious, right? No shit like this where it's in between price and prices spiking through it a million times. Just obvious, clear, ridiculously simple support resistance zones. That's all I use in trading. Literally, I don't even use colored candlesticks. My charts are black and white. It's a dark background with light colored candles. That's it. I don't even have the candles colored different colors. You don't need to. It's pointless. There's no sort of edge that comes from that. And all I did was I sold here at the resistance zone and I put my stop above the zone and my target below. And that was it. I risked $35,000 on that. This is where I called the trade out in my group. I also don't recommend you joining my private group because most of you are just going to get frustrated seeing how simple it is. And also you're going to get frustrated if there's like a week or two of a losing streak because you think every single freaking week has to be profitable. Whereas long term, the statistical profitability of a system dictates that you're likely to have losing weeks or losing months. So most of you are not even cut out to join my group where I'm calling my trades live. But this is where I called it out. Euro USD, I risked $35,000 to make $35,000 of profit. Another thing that frustrates me is that some people see there's such a problem with using a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Whereas in reality, most of the time, if I'm wrong about a trade, I'll close it at break even or a small loss. So it doesn't even hit the actual stop loss. And if it hits the profit target, I'm usually making more on average. Even though it's a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio from the beginning of the trade, I'm still making more on average than I lose on my losers. And then sometimes I'll even use like a 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio or 1-to-1.5 and I'll make more. Last week I made like $67,000 on a single trade. And the risk on that trade was $45,000. So I made a little over like 1.5 R or something like that on that trade. That frustrates me a lot too, is people think there's something wrong with the 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. There's nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, if you're using a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio, it's kind of a happy medium. If you're using a negative risk-reward ratio, that's stupid in my opinion because you're just risking more than your potential to win. But also if you're using a positive risk-reward ratio that's asymmetrically skewed way too high, like a 1-to-5 risk-reward ratio, you're going to have a shit win rate. It's going to frustrate you. It's probably going to frustrate me even more having to see you do that. So I sold here on Euro USD. This is what it looked like when I entered. The account was sitting around just under 400K. Started to go into profit. That was just an update, right? This was no updates. This was yesterday at like 12, at around noon. And then today I posted this morning at 8 a.m. So about an hour ago I posted in here. This had fell through, hit the profit target overnight. I was asleep. I didn't even know this trade until I woke up this morning half asleep, sipping my coffee, and saw it made $35,000. So I'm up $35,000 on this week so far. Just from this one trade. It's the only trade we've taken all week. And my trades are very, very simple that I call in here. It's not insane. There's no insane analysis. There's nothing complicated. If you struggle to keep things simple and you're still struggling in trading, honestly, you shouldn't even be trading. Like if you were literally going to the daily and 4 hour chart and you're drawing support resistance zones and you're just buying and selling at support resistance zones and putting a stop on the other side and a target of at least a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, if you're doing that for a couple months and getting experience and then you're still not profitable, you probably just shouldn't even be trading, honestly, because it's just going to frustrate the hell out of you and it's going to frustrate the hell out of me that you're just not able to keep things simple. So with that one, here's another trade I took this morning. So I've called this out this morning in the group. You can see, so what time was this? 8:42 a.m. So this is like, what, 40 minutes ago. 14 minutes ago, I called out this trade, USD-CHF. And look at what I did. There's a daily support resistance zone. We could probably even extend it a little bit further back to encapsulate that low. Price is just bouncing around in it. It had broken below, came back to retest and started to reject it. And so what did I do? I sold at the resistance zone with a stop above and a target below. 1-to-1 risk reward ratio for right now. And that's what the trade looks like. But let's go look at the actual chart on this one. This is the 4 hour chart, but I mean, you don't even need that. Like, look here, just go to the daily. You don't even need any other time frame, the daily or the 4 hour, just pick one. It's not, you don't have to do anything insane here. I went to the daily chart. You can see prices bounced here as support 1 time, 2 times, broke below, bounced as resistance, broke back above, found support a bunch of times, then broke back below, and then bounced as resistance, right? And I didn't enter immediately when it got there. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. I waited for a little bit of rejection. Now it's rejecting, and this trade's already gone into profit. I don't even know how much has gone into profit. Maybe like $10,000 so far. What is this? Where's the target? The target's right here. 0.8037. I would check my phone, but I'm using my phone to record this video right now, so I can't even check my phone to see where it's at in the P&L. But this is already starting to go into profit. And I just don't know like why so many people choose to keep it so complicated, because it really is a choice. You can go look at smart money, order block, liquidity, bank manipulation, ICT, Wagyu beef, bearish candlestick, institutional order block strategies. You can use the moving average crossover thing with the enter the buy and then a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio, and the moving averages cross on the 1 hour candle with a bullish closure engulfing above the previous high after 3 consecutive bear candles. You can use the Fibonacci pullback thing when you're starting the Fibonacci from some place that's arbitrary on the chart, praying that you got it right or praying that you're doing it somehow relevant, and then it pulls back to the 38 or the 50 or the 61.8, and then you're having to sell, and you're putting your stop above one of the previous Fibonacci levels and targeting lower low. Like, you could do all this shit, but what I've found works so simple. It works. I've coached 4,500 clients, more than 4,500 clients over the past 7 years. What I've found works consistently and predictably is just swing trading the higher time frames in Forex and keeping things incredibly simple. If a client looks at me and tells me that their trading explanation is like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sentences long, I say no. Bad dog. Stop doing that shit. It should be 1 sentence. It doesn't even have to be a complete sentence. It can be an incomplete sentence. Price went to a major resistance zone on the daily chart, and I sold with a stop loss above and a target below of a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, risking an amount I'm comfortable with. If you're on a $1,000 account, you want to risk $100, cool. If you're on a $10,000 account, you want to risk $1,000, cool. I was on a $300,000 account. I guess $400,000 now, because of last week I made like $95,000 trading Forex. The past 2 weeks I've made like $170,000 or more trading Forex, just in the past 2 freaking weeks alone. And so for me, I'm risking like $40,000 on a trade on a $400,000 account. It's like 10% of the account. Okay, it is what it is, right? That's what I'm comfortable with. So you risk an amount you're comfortable with. You keep the analysis really simple. Your explanation is like just less than 1 sentence, like just 1 incomplete half-ass sentence. Came to the support zone and I bought at the major daily support zone with a stop below and a target above. And then you just manage it as the trade starts playing out. If it starts going into profit, just hold it to the target. If it starts going sideways, maybe close it at a loss after a few days, or close it at break even after a few days, or a small profit after a few days, because it's just not moving. If it was going to move and you're going to be right, it would go away from the zone pretty quickly. It'll either bounce or it'll break. It's not that complicated. Price just goes up or down. So with this right here, I sold on USD-CHF. If this just has a little tug away from the zone and comes back here around the previous low, wherever the hell my profit target is, 7994, whatever that is. If only that happens, right? If it just has a little tug away, I now make another $40,000, and this will be my second trade of this week. And the total P&L for this week will be what, like $75,000? Almost 80K with 2 trades, barely doing anything. You know how long this trade took me to analyze this morning? See if you can guess. I'll give you a hint. Less than 10 seconds. This took me 6.9 seconds to analyze this. Why? Because it's so simple. You don't have to do anything. You literally don't have to do anything crazy at all. If you're hell-bent on keeping things real complicated and just like, essentially just straight up gambling, right? You have no sort of predictive like mechanism inside your trading. You have no sort of like consistency or sustainability or predictability in your decisions, then fine, be my guest. You're going to lose. Most people lose. Most of you watching this video are going to lose money trading, which is why it frustrates me, because it doesn't have to be that way. You can keep things so ridiculously simple that it just doesn't have to be that way. Another trade I'm looking for on AUD CAD right now. I'm looking to sell when price gets to this resistance zone. It actually got into the resistance zone last night, and I didn't sell because I was waiting for a little bit better of an entry. You know, some people will call me crazy for waiting. I think this would be a better entry with a better risk structure if it goes all the way up there. So if it does, I'm going to sell AUD CAD, probably. We'll see. GBP JPY. I missed this trade last night. Why? Because I was sleeping. So I had an alert here at this zone on GBP JPY. If you don't believe me, I'll go show you my alerts right now. Here it is. GBP JPY crossing 199.833. So where is that? 199.833. So something like that. That's where my alert was at. How would the trade have looked? Trade would have looked something like this. Entry there. Stop loss above the zone. Target of a 1-to-1. This would have already hit profit target. I would have made an extra $35,000 last night had I, or 40,000, however much it was I happened to risk, 35 to 40K right now. I would have made an extra $35,000 to $40,000 last night had I just stayed up like a psychopath at 1 a.m. and then taken that GBP JPY trade. And how much time does it really take? Like, let's start from scratch, right? Okay, we spawn here on the GBP JPY chart, right? We're looking at AUD CAD, then we go to the GBP JPY chart. Boom, here we are. Okay, now what? Well, draw resistance zone above price. Where's the next zone below price? Looks like it's right here, around these lows. I got to encapsulate all of them. Okay, now you're done. Now you set an alert. I probably wouldn't use this zone because it's kind of break through a couple times. This one looks more clear to me. So here, let's do it like in real time. Here's the analysis. Okay, set an alert here at this zone. Drag it just a little bit lower. All right, now we're ready. Now everything's good. Now if it goes down there and hits that alert, what do? I'll buy. I'll buy right here with a stop below the zone and a target above the zone. With a 1-to-1, sometimes I'll hold it to like a 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2. It just kind of depends. It's very dynamic, comes with experience. You use your discretion, price action discernment, nuance, subtleties. You examine all that context and then you just decide whether or not to hold or to close the trade. But it's not complicated. It is so ridiculously simple. So yeah, call this video rage bait, but it frustrates me that so many people are not keeping things simple and controlling risk. If you want to keep things simple and control risk, please join this. Here it is. Where is it at? This group where I call all my trades live. You can just learn everything just by following all my trades live every day. It's this right here. There's a video on it that explains what it is. It's a 2-minute long video. There's not even a sales page for it, right? It's just like, this is where you can follow all my trades, and this just tells you how to enroll in it. You can subscribe to follow my trades. It's not a good idea to do this if you don't have capital to trade with. It's $250 a month. You know, if that's too much for you, you don't have like 10K to trade with or more, it's not gonna be worth it. Just don't even join it if that's the case. But if you're wanting to follow my trades and get some real qualified experience doing very, very, very simple things and just seeing it over and over and over and nothing else, no other fluff. There's no group chat in this thing anymore. There's no nothing. There's no Zoom sessions. It's just you following my trades every day, seeing the same stuff over and over and over and over and over, seeing how wins are managed, seeing how losses are managed, seeing how things are closed at break even if things don't work out. And just by doing the same simple stuff over and over, it allows you to keep things simple and control risk. But my God, please do not join this group if you're not willing to keep things simple and control risk. Otherwise, you're going to be frustrated. I'm going to be frustrated. And nobody's going to win. So with that being said, I'm going to get back to my trading week. I'm going to watch this USD CHF trade to see how it plays out. Perhaps I'll close this early. Perhaps I'll hold it a little bit longer. It looks like it's just rocketing into profit right now. So I'm going to go manage that, and perhaps I'll make another $10, $20, $30, $40,000 today. I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Cheers, my friends.